What's up, guys? Welcome to another week's Q&A. As always, if you want your question answered, be sure to keep an eye out on my Instagram. I'll always post a story the day before we film these, and as always, I will just answer them straight off of the prompt I post. So, want your question answered? Keep an eye out on my Instagram story. Without further ado, let's hop into these. First one, favorite gym to train at besides Labrada? I would have to say Joe Bennett / Dave Batista's private gym in Tampa, MI40 in Tampa, Montanari Brothers Powerhouse in Connecticut. Where else? There's some Doherty's in Australia. Shout out to Tony. You're the man. Sorry, Australia is the way it is right now. But yeah, off the top of my head, those are the ones I can think of. How critical is hitting cardio to your training during off season, and what is your off season cardio regimen? So cardio in the off season should be done for two reasons: one, to keep your body fat in check; two, to keep your heart healthy. And the amount you do should, obviously if you're only doing it for heart health, 15, 20 minutes of steady state, 4 or 5 times a week should be more than enough. If you're doing it to keep your body fat in check, that's entirely person dependent. Me personally, in the off season, I do no cardio. Obviously it's not healthiest from the standpoint of heart health, but in my case, I already have such an issue getting in enough calories that, the 15 to 20 minutes a day would be more of a detriment than a help for my bodybuilding. Obviously I train very intensely, get my heart rate up pretty much, consistently above 130 for almost 2 hours every day. So there is some form of cardiovascular component to what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, some things have to give whenever you're pushing things. And in my case, that is, I don't do cardio in the off season. So weekly split. If you want to know what the weekly split is, I would encourage you to go check out the split overview video I did a couple weeks back. It goes into painful, possibly boring detail of the new split. So if you want to check it out, go ahead and check that one out. This is a good one. Tips for hitting true failure when training alone. You select exercises that you can fail safely on. So, training by yourself, what comes to mind is, A, pin selected machines, B, training in the Smith machine, C, training, in a squat rack with stops. You can press in that, you can squat in that and fail safely. If we're talking, compounds for legs, you can fail safely on a leg press, you can fail safely on a hack squat. You just have to have the safety stop set properly. Smith machine, same thing. You can fail safely with the safety spots, or, at any point in the range of motion, you can just rack the bar. Dumbbells, you can hit true failure and just drop them if you can't get the rep. So, there is quite a few ways to be able to hit true failure by yourself safely. You just need to kind of examine, the exercise and then select one that, like I said, you can fail safely on. Bail out of the hole in a hack, drop the bar out on a set of squats, dumbbells, and you can drop dumbbells. So it's very easy to do. You just need to put a little thought into it. On unilateral work, should you progress and log each side individually? The fact that you are asking that question leads me to believe that you have an imbalance to the point of, you're getting maybe 2 or 3 more reps on one side than the other. I wouldn't log both sides per se. What I would do though, and this is what I've done in the past whenever I have imbalances, by more than a rep, is always start with the weak side and then match reps on the strong side. In doing so, you'll eventually catch it up. If there's a big discrepancy, like more than 4 or 5 reps, I'd look at to make sure there's not some kind of, neurological thing going on or some kind of underlying injury that's causing it. But B, I might consider, an extra working set for that side with a unilateral exercise or two that you don't do with the strong side. So things to consider. You feel like you've made the necessary adjustments to compete for the Olympia title. I needed to do 2 things to be able to compete for the Olympia title in my mind, and that was I need to show up in better shape, and I need to add a lot of size to my back. One of those things happens during the off season. One of those things happens in contest prep. I think I took care of the one that happens in the off season, and that is, I think I put enough size on my back to be competitive. The other one, coming in shape, that has to do with what I do for the next 20 weeks. That being said, I'm starting in about as good a spot as I could ever ask to start in. My personal life and house is in order. I couldn't ask for a better crew of people around me to do this with, so I'm very excited, and I do believe that I've made all the adjustments that we need to really, compete for a win in December. So looking forward to that. What legacy do you want to leave behind? I want to be known as a better person than bodybuilder. And, at the end of the day, there's been plenty of really good bodybuilders who weren't very good human beings. I'd much rather people have, nice things to say about how I was as a person before they have nice things to say about me as a bodybuilder. So, at this point, I do believe I've done enough to where people, will have always nice things to say about me as a bodybuilder. But, I'm getting to the point where I'm having, a platform and the ability to reach people and, have people be able to say, oh, he's just a good dude. So, it's been a really cool thing to have happen in the last couple of years, to really have a platform to be able to, influence and, speak to people from. What's a good work ethic? Man, some good questions today. Good work ethic, in my book, is you do what needs to be done, whether you want to do it or not. And, at the end of the day, work ethic and, discipline are borderline interchangeable for me. But, then at the end of the day, work ethic, work by, definition doesn't sound like fun. And, a lot of the times you just have to do things you don't want to do in order to succeed, to succeed in the bigger picture. So to me, work ethic is, doing things that you don't want to do in the moment because, they're going to pay off in dividends in the long run. Work ethic means you are disciplined to your goals to the point where you pass up on, creature comforts or, the little things in the here and now. Work ethic is really knowing what you want to do and then driving and doing what you need to do to make it happen. That's Hunter's dictionary definition of work ethic. All right, let's do a couple more and then we'll wrap this one up. Do you take a caffeine pre-workout or just your pump product? Depends on the day and how I'm feeling. That's the main reason that we made pump stim-free, was we wanted to give people the ability to decide whether or not they wanted a stimulated workout. I will say this, stimulants by nature are vasoconstricting, meaning they will hinder your pump. So if you don't need a stimulant, I would not recommend you take a stimulant. If you feel like you need a stimulant to have a good workout, or you're just chronically tired, or you train after work, or whatever, you need a kick in the ass, then or if I need a kick in the ass, then yeah, I will take some caffeine. My favorites, I will either get a 5-hour energy from the gas station. I will get a large iced espresso from a coffee place. Or, if I'm feeling froggy, I'll get an energy drink. I don't really like doing that too much, though, just because the bubbles really mess my stomach up training. So typically a 5-hour energy shot or a big coffee. All right, one more and then we're out of here. Any suggestions for a more manly exercise than barbell hip thrusts to target the glutes? You're asking the wrong person that question, man. There's no such thing as like manly or unmanly exercises to me. There is just optimal and not optimal exercises, and a barbell glute bridge is a pretty optimal way to load your glutes in the shortened position. So I would say to keep on doing your barbell glute bridges, and if you're manly, just do them with 5 or 6 plates on the bar. That's pretty impressive to me. Who wouldn't want to be with a guy that can hip thrust 600 pounds? I mean, think of the possibilities with that. But anyways, if you really have that big of an aversion to doing barbell hip thrust, I'd say do like a low bar back squat and really focus on, driving your hips back as far as you can each rep. Anyways, we're going to end on that note. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. If you did, be sure to subscribe so you can get notifications when we're dropping new videos. Been doing a really good job of, churning them out right now. So, yeah, been a lot of fun doing these. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want your question answered, be sure to keep an eye out on my Instagram and get them in when you see the story prompt. See y'all next week.